Morning, students. Welcome to Science class, Physics part, Chapter 13, Motion and Time. There is motion everywhere around us. The movement of an insect on the ground, a butterfly flitting from flower to flower, a river flowing, an aeroplane flying, moon going around the earth going around the sun, and blood flowing inside our bodies show that there is motion everywhere around us. How do we define motion? Change in position of an object with time is called motion. We saw that motion is a change in the position of an object with time. Now let's look into different types of motion. Rectilinear motion, that is motion in straight line. You can find the word line in the word rectilinear. The second one, circular motion. Third one is rotational motion. Fourth one, periodic motion. Now let's see in detail about these different types of motion. Rectilinear motion. In this type of motion, the path of the moving object is in straight line. You may have observed the motion of a vehicle on a straight road, march past of soldiers in a parade, or the falling of a stone. In all these examples, we see that the object move along a straight line. This type of motion is called rectilinear motion. The next one is circular motion and rotational motion. What is circular motion? Motion of an object along the circumference of a circle is called circular motion. Now let's see an activity. Take a stone, tie a thread to it and hold it with your hand. Observe the motion of the stone. We see that the stone moves along a circular path. In this motion, the distance of the stone from your hand remains the same. This type of motion is called circular motion. Some other examples for circular motion are the motion of a point marked on the blade of an electric fan, or the hands of a clock, or satellite orbiting around the earth. Rotational motion. When we consider the fan as a whole as a single object, it undergoes rotational motion. The fan is attached to axle and the fan spinning around this axle. The motion of a body around a fixed line or axis is called rotational motion. The rotating fan, spinning top, rotation of the earth. In all these examples, the axis passes through the object. So what is rotational motion? Motion of an object around a fixed line or axis is called rotational motion. Let's move on to the next one. Motion repeated in equal intervals of time is known as periodic motion. Some examples for periodic motion are a rocking chair, a bouncing ball, the pendulum of a clock, a swing in motion, the revolution of Earth in its orbit around the Sun. We know that some vehicles move faster than others. Even the same vehicle may move faster or slower at different times. If vehicles are moving on a road in the same direction, we can easily tell which one of them is moving faster than the other. The distance moved by objects in a given interval of time can help us to decide which one is faster or slower. For example, imagine that you have gone to see of your friend at the bus stand. Suppose you start pedaling your bicycle at the same time as the bus begins to move. The distance covered by you after 5 minutes would be much smaller than that covered by the bus. Would you say that the bus is moving faster than the bicycle? Yes. We often say that the faster vehicle has higher speed. What is speed then? Before we learn in detail about speed, let's understand what is uniform motion and non-uniform motion. If the speed of an object moving along a straight line keeps changing, its motion is said to be non-uniform. On the other hand, an object moving along a straight line with constant speed is said to be in uniform motion. Here, the example which is given on your left side, the car, every 2 seconds it covers the distance of 4 meters. So it is said to be in uniform motion. But the example which is given on your right side, that is the speed of the racing car keeps changing, so its motion is said to be non-uniform. You are familiar with the word speed. Higher speed seems to indicate that a given distance has been covered in a shorter time or a larger distance covered in a given time. The most convenient way to find out which of the two or more objects is moving faster is to compare the distances moved by them in a unit time. So what is speed? The distance covered by an object in a unit time is said to be the speed of the object. When we say that a car is moving with a speed of 50 kilometers per hour, it implies that it will cover a distance of 50 kilometers in 1 hour. The car starts moving slowly and then picks up speed. When we say that the car has a speed of 50 kilometers per hour, we usually consider only the total distance covered by it in 1 hour. We do not bother whether the car has been moving with a constant speed or not during that hour. The speed calculated here is actually the average speed of the car. So we use the term speed for average speed. So how do we calculate speed of an object? The speed is the total distance covered divided by the total time taken. So we can represent as a formula speed is equal to total distance covered divided by total time taken. So here in this example, the total distance covered by the car is 12 meters. The total time taken is 6 seconds. If we simplify this, we get the answer 2 meters per second as the speed of this particular object. We can determine the speed of a given object once we can measure the time taken by it to cover a certain distance. How do we measure time? So let's learn in detail about the topics measurement of time, units of time and speed in the next class.